Hey everyone, I hope you're doing great. So we're here in Hungary, hunting wild boar and hopefully some female deer. Now we're just sorting out the hunting licenses behind me, so everyone's getting sorted, and then we're going to head off to our high seats and towers. So fingers crossed we're going to have a great night. So sit with us and see. Let's see how we get on. Now, there's a lot of travelling involved when you go to foreign destinations. And of course, you need to be prepared to travel, making sure you've got everything you need to make that travelling comfortable. But it gives you a chance to talk to the people you're travelling with and also get a look at the countryside you're going to be travelling through. Good. Right. It's all about drinking before flying. Yeah. Now, flying anywhere is dead simple. You just need to make sure that you plan well in advance, know how to check in and what your allowance is going to be for baggage, and make sure you know what you can and can't carry in your hand luggage. Now, flying to Budapest from any of the London airports is really good because it's only a short 2-hour flight. And once you're on the ground, it's not a difficult airport to get yourself through. It's nice and friendly. Oh. You wouldn't believe it, we've literally just got our suitcases off in the first round of the carousel. Boss on! And we're at Budapest. Budapest in Hungary. In case you didn't know. Now in Hungary, you've got to have your hunting license if you're going to be hunting anywhere. Now you must carry that license with you at all times in case you were stopped and checked. But it's a pretty simple process. It's a nice little standard hunting license and it's a good memento to take back to the UK once you're finished. Now, as soon as we started setting out to our high seats and towers, we started bumping into deer straight away on this estate. It's a great area, there's plenty of game. And this little roebuck, he's a lucky little fella because he's out of season and he wasn't for shooting. So that's all good, but it was great to see him. Well, morning everyone. So we had a bit of a furious start. We were just popping up to check one of the sort of feeding areas, and there was a group of reds there and we shot a nice big red calf. Now, unfortunately we didn't get a chance to catch it on camera, and that's just the way these things go. So when the guide takes you up, if you get an opportunity to set up, that's great. But we didn't have that. It was just a bit full on. There they are. Let's see which one to shoot and then get one down. So we've done good. We've had a good start. So we're going to pop off to a couple new areas just shortly and then figure things out from there. But hey, good start. We've not done too bad so far. The other guys have had some shots last night. I didn't get a shot, but we saw some nice red stags and a few other reds came into the feeding station. But it's all good. I'm enjoying myself so far, so best place to be. Right, I better crack on, things to do. Now the Hungarians are exceptional at what they do, and here we have a tracking dog and handler heading out to look for a wild boar that had been superficially hit, was certainly knocked off its feet but was able to regain composure and run into cover. And the dog and handler tracked the wild boar for around 5 kilometres and had seen it a couple of times and were able to make the judgment that it wasn't seriously injured at all and was going to be fine and recover. Now after all this excitement, it is time to go back to the hotel, get some breakfast and then relax. And rest and relaxation when you're a hunter is really important. So all I can hear is John Robson and a few of the others squealing like little girls, and I want to know what's going on, so I'm investigating. Oh fuck. There's no way. Oh man, so just getting ready for an all-nighter on the piggies. We've all shot game, we've all shot deer or boar or a mixture of, so everyone's had a shot and shot something. But we're heading out for the last night. It's going to be an all-nighter, about 14 hours worth. So we've got packed lunches, piss bottles are important, and plenty of clothing, and I've got a little sleeping baggie there just in case, because you never know. So exciting times, fingers crossed we're going to get a piggy, but who knows. Might see some deer late on, but we can only shoot same as the UK, so it's an hour before, hour after. But we'll see. If it comes to last knockings and the light's coming up, the sun's up in the sky again and we're about to be picked up and we've not got something, I'll probably shoot a deer, you never know. And it'll probably be a roe deer of all things. But fingers crossed we get some pigs in late night as the moon comes up. Whoa, I wish me luck. Well, we're all set up in the tower. We've got our drinks, our snacks, our sleeping bag, loads of spare jackets. extra gloves. So the pigs have been turning up between sort of 8:30 and 1 in the morning. So that's a long wait from sundown. So we're only about 5 p.m. at the moment, local time. So we'll need to wait about 4 hours before the first pigs turn up. But that's okay. I'm sure we'll see some deer, some other game. And everyone's already shot stuff. We're all happy, we've all done well. It'd just be nice to tick that pig box. So we'll wait and see. Fingers crossed. Now the feeding areas to bring in the game animals are really well set out. They use sugar beet, they use hay, and they also use maize. So in general terms, you could bring in deer, you could bring in wild boar, you just don't know what's going to turn up. Now there are jackals in the area and we could hear them howling and barking and making all kinds of noise at night. But here you can see these red deer are very wary of the feeding areas. There's just a little bit of light left in the sky, but they're still uncomfortable about coming in and really committing to feed. It's quite interesting to watch this. They certainly know that these feeding areas aren't as safe as they could be, so it's always good to see these reactions of the animals. Now, it was very interesting to see that as the night went on, other groups of deer did come in, and there was a lot of small ground game like hares was knocking about. But the first pig turned up almost at 10 o'clock, and it was really good to see this young Kyler come in. And as he was coming, I got a little bit excited, and I was thinking this could be good, but it was very hard to see in the scope, and the deer chased him away for the first time. Now, although he was chased out of the feeding area, he did come back shortly after and it was just interesting to see his interaction with those deer. Now, by 10:30, it was getting busy at the feeding station. There was certainly a wild boar, a big group of red deer stags, and a nice little roe deer buck just on the front left there. Now, I really needed that wild boar to come in front of the hay bale on the left. Anything past that was a little bit far for the rig that I had. I did have a higher rifle. The optic wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was okay for the job if the game wasn't too far away. But that little pig's a lucky boy at the moment. He's just that 30 metres too far to be able to make a shot on. And when he's in amongst the deer, obviously for safety reasons, we couldn't really take a shot at that animal. But he's a moochy little critter, and I could do with him coming in. But he just doesn't commit to coming into where the maize has been put down. Now, pigs are smart animals. There's no doubt about that. They're probably one of the smartest animals you can hope to hunt. But the pigs that we've got were very nervous at all times when they came near the open area of the feeding station. They were super careful, super quiet, did a lot of listening, a lot of sniffing, and they didn't commit to coming straight out. Now, it took quite a while before that sounder decided it was going to make an appearance at the very far end of the feeding area. But again, it was just a little bit too far. I could see that sow as clearly as you like. She would have been easy enough to shoot, but she wasn't really the right animal to take. She's probably going to be a really good breeding sow for the estate, and taking her wasn't the appropriate animal. All these little ones running in behind, if I could get a clear look at one of them and they were clear enough in the scope, I was certainly happy to take one. But just trying to follow them and pick an animal out, it's not very easy. And of course, you want to make a good shot. You know, there's no prizes for making a bad shot and then finding an animal a few hours later with the tracking dogs that's been partly eaten out by the likes of jackals. So it is about making that good shot. And I was very conscious that this little group, they were quite bunched up, and getting a single animal off to the side, ideally in front of that bale of hay, now that wasn't as easy as it could have been. but it's great seeing the pigs. You certainly get a bit of a rush and your heart's in your mouth, and this is what it's all about. It's certainly worth that wait. Now, I really thought these wild boar were going to come in really nicely into the maze just in front of that hay bale. But all of a sudden, when they were just milling around, they just took a sudden spook, and that was them. The sounder took off. I don't know what it was. It could have been anything. But as soon as they ran off, that was hunting over for the night, and I didn't see any more game come in. Alright, so that's the hunting over. We're heading to the airport. All is good. We've all shot game. We've all had a great time. I didn't get a pig in the end, but you saw the amount of game, so all's good. So, if you're looking to come on this trip or have a good go, it's John Robson at European Hunting you want to get in touch with. That guy there. Alright folks, see you all again. Cheers.